second graders, this is Miss Englehart, and I'm going to talk you through our math packet pages for this week. Your first one is finding the area of rectangles, and you are going to use a little bag of cutout squares for this. Our second page is called Lines, Buttons, and Adding Practice. And on the back of this, there are 2 word problems that might use our similar method to our video from last week. So if it's helpful, you can go back and watch our video from last week, going through acting it out and drawing it to solve those. And now we have some more story problems. And Mrs. Becker is going to remind you how we solve story problems in second grade.
Okay, so for your story problems this week, we're going to use this chart paper that tells us the steps of a story problem when you're choosing your tool to solve it. So for story problems, number 1, we read the whole problem. So we're going to read the whole problem. Mrs. Becker baked 100 sugar cookies for a bake sale. She sold 46 cookies. How many cookies does she have left? That leads us to step 2. Step 2 is make the equation. I'm going to make my equation from the actual words in the problem. This is our first way to solve. So, Mrs. Becker baked 100 sugar cookies for a bake sale. I'm going to grab that number and start my equation. 100 sugar cookies. Then she got rid of them, sold, we're subtracting, 46 cookies. So 100 cookies take away 46 cookies equals our box. How many does she have left? So then it leads us to step 3. Show your work. You're going to grab a tool, and we have several strategies that we can use, but for these problems this week, we are going to use our number line. It's our second grade quick grab, easy solve. Okay, so we're going to take that number line, and I'm going to make one. And then I have a decision to make. If I start with 100 and I'm taking 46 away, am I going to automatically put my 100 on this side of my number line or this side? Am I going to do the left or the right? Or smallest to greatest, and where would the 100 go? I'm going to choose to put my 100 on this side because it's the greater number and it's on the right side. So now we have to choose a strategy of make a 10 or jump a 10. And because we're already at a 10, we're going to jump a 10. So we're going to take away 46 from our 100. I'm going to break my 46 apart into the 10s and 1s and make a 40 and a 6. And I'm going to start by jumping the 4 tenths, all in one big leap. So if I make one big leap and I take away 40 from my 100, I would land at 60. Then I will come over here and I cross that off because I already jumped it, and I notice that I have 6 left. So now from 60, I'm going to jump backwards my 6 and land at 54. So now we see that 100 minus 46 lands us at 54. So this is where our box is. 54 is how many cookies she has left. Instead of doing a large jump of 40, you might think to do 4 jumps of 10, like this. Minus 10, minus 10, minus 10, and minus 10. That's another way to solve the problem on the number line.
Okay. So now that Mrs. Becker has showed you one way to solve it, I might show you a different way. So remember, this is our equation directly from our problem that we need to write down. It matches our problem, but you might change that equation to solve it. I might use this equation, 46 plus how many she sold equals the 100 cookies that she baked. So if I drew my number line and used this tool to help me solve it, I would start at the 46 because that is my first number in my equation. And it would be on the left side because it's a small number. It's not a greater number, that would go on the right side. And then I need to choose my strategy. Am I going to jump by a 10 or jump to get to a 10? I might jump to get to a 10 since I'm at 46. And we're going to use that math fact we know that 6 plus 4 will get you to a 10. And I would land at 50. Remember, I'm trying to get to 100. So I'm at 50. I might take a really big jump of 50 to get to 100 because 50 plus 50 equals 100. You could also do it by doing some jumps of 10 like Mrs. Becker showed. So you could do 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 to get my 5 jumps of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's another way that I could make that jump from 50 to 100. Now I have to think about where is my solution on my number line. Is it in where I land it, or is it in adding together the jumps? Where would the box be for that solution? So I already know that I did 46 plus box equals 100. So I'm going to find my solution in my jumps. And I know that 50 plus 4 equals 54. That would be my solution, which is the same solution that Mrs. Becker got. It's just a different way of solving it. So our next step for our story problem is our solution sentence. And for that, we have to use our PQIA, part of the question in the answer. PQIA, that's what we always do in second grade. So I'm going to go back to my original problem. Mrs. Becker baked 100 sugar cookies for a bake sale. She sold 46 cookies. How many cookies does she have left? I'm going to think about the question we were trying to answer is how many cookies she has left, which we figured out is 54 cookies. So my solution sentence would be, she has or Mrs. Becker has 54 cookies left. Because that answers my question from my story problem. So now I've done all of my steps of my story problems. This is what we expect you to do. You can choose how you solve it. If your brain likes to solve it using our 100 minus 46 or 46 plus box equals 100. But we'd love to see those number lines. Remember to label your jumps and where you land it. So these are our steps to solve our story problems. We read the whole problem, make the equation that matches, show your work using our number line tool and choosing our strategy of jumping by a 10 or making a 10. And we always write our solution sentence at the end.
And this is the page that these problems will be found on. And it says at the top, send a picture to your teacher. Please communicate this one with us. Have a great week.
Bye.